All right, chat. Before we even get started, I want to say this, okay? This look is good. Okay? This is what I want. I like that minimalist look. Nothing standing out too much, right? The jewelry complements the fit. The fit complements the jewelry. It's just perfect, right? You got the statement pieces and in this texture. It just looks like a really good texture. I want this shirt. I want this shirt. This man knows how to dress. I'm gonna be real with you, okay? He knows how to dress. Fox fits be fine. It's superb. Clan the Fox fan. Clan the Fox fan.
Hey, De'Aaron.
It's perfect.
Start out by just giving us an update on where you are at physically with your hand.
Yeah. I'm about, I think almost 4 weeks post-surgery. I should be cleared in another 8, but I'll be able to start doing like basketball stuff, I think in the next 2. So it's definitely progressing. Got the.
Did you say 2 weeks? That's like 2 weeks?
Womb's closing. Trying to keep it as straight as possible for the time being. I wear a splint all the time now, but I feel good. It doesn't really hurt as much anymore, unless you obviously just squeeze it or something, but I'm in a good place.
Just doing a lot of cardio, I guess.
Yeah, like I'm able to lift, but obviously, with the pulling, I can't really grab or do anything like that just yet, so I'm not pulling. But as far as like legs and doing cardio and stuff like that, I've been able to work out for the past about week and a half since the womb started closing, and I could start to sweat.
You go back to the trade and your expectations for what you were getting into here, kind of a couple months later, how has that evolved, or what's the outlook look like now?
Why would it change? That's one thing that I saw people talking about on Twitter after like things started going down, like okay, the Wemby Clyde and everything. It was mostly Kings fans. Maybe it wasn't a lot of Spurs fans. I think it was mostly Kings fans, and they were just like, oh, I bet he really regret his decision now. What are we even talking about? I'm sorry, I didn't know Fox came to the San Antonio Spurs with hopes to win a championship this year. It like win or bust. I was not aware that that's why he wanted to come to our organization, so he could win this year. Such a silly take. Even next year, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Fox knows this is a young team. It's gonna be a lot of my shoulders. I have a huge responsibility to help these guys learn how to win. Like, that could take a couple seasons. What are we even talking about? Obviously, he wants to stay. Like, yeah, he regrets it. He came and Wemby can't play. Now he regrets everything. That's so stupid.
I mean, during that time, like, obviously, we wanted to make a push. But, unforeseen circumstances happen. Things happen. In this league, things happen all the time. So you always have to, expect the unexpected, and those things happen. So we decided to have surgery and not wait till, after the season, which is great because we should be cleared. Me and Vic should be cleared around the same time, so we'd be able to get together during the summer.
Hold on. Let's play that again for the people in the back.
We should be cleared. Me and Vic should be cleared around the same time, so we'd be able to, which is great because we should be cleared. Me and Vic should be cleared around the same time, so we'd be able to get together during the summer and be able to work. We should be cleared. Me and Vic should be cleared around the same time, so we'd be able to get together during the summer and be able to work with each other. But with this group, just being able to go into the offseason on a strong note and knowing that we have some things to build for towards the future, and we want to get together as much as possible.
Perfection.
We want to start working on those things, and obviously we want everybody to be fully healthy when we do it.
Speaking of the future, what are your thoughts about it? You got Steph. You saw what he did as a rookie, and then Vic coming back.
Yeah, I mean, definitely excited. Like I said, man, just wanting everybody
I am hurt, guys. I am hurt that Sohan never comes up in these conversations. I am hurt. It's like the players will talk about how important he is to the team, but like the media, he don't get brought up, man. You guys remember when they talked about, or when they did that graphic as far as look at the new Spurs, and they literally had the starter not in the starting rotation in the graphic? What are we talking about? What are we going on about? So silly.
To be healthy and being able to get, especially the core group of guys together,
I'm not Biden caps.
It's definitely a big thing for me. And obviously these guys are young, but I feel like, and the organization feels like guys are ready to win. And if you can open up that window for as long as you possibly can, that's always the goal.
to the crib? Because I know you got a basketball.
Yeah. I've talked to some of the guys, and guys want to come down and be able to work out together. And obviously, there will be times where everyone's here in San Antonio, just being able to get some workouts in. But like I said, man, just being able to get together as much as possible. Obviously, guys, go their separate ways and do their own thing for a bit. But just getting together a week or 2 weeks at a time, for get together 1 month and see each other the next month is always good. Just being able to build towards the future.
You sign your name to a new extension this summer?
Yeah, I would hope so. It's funny, I actually asked CP if this was the first year that he was ever a free agent. And yeah, that was like the first time he ever walked into free agency. I haven't yet, and I really don't know if I plan on doing it. But like I said, man, I'm excited about what we're trying to build here.
What kind of answer was that? He said, yeah, I really want to. I don't know if I'll do it. I'm really excited for the future here. What? You don't know you'll do it. Of course you know you'll do it. Right? What are you talking about? He's staying. Don't worry, y'all.
It was like the first time he ever walked into free agency. I haven't yet, and I really don't know if I plan on doing it. But like I said, man, I'm excited about what we're trying to build here.
Chris, is that on Twitter? The Kevin O'Connor thing? And if it is, tell me his handle. All right, we'll save that for the next live stream.
Victor said, in a sense, that even over the last couple of months, that he's almost been jealous about the way the team's been playing. It's fun. What's been maybe different, or what have they been doing well that would make him say something like that?
I mean, I think whenever you have your best players out, guys are stepping up. Obviously,
Do you know what? I guess maybe he put it in chapters. You said it's on YouTube, Yahoo Sports. Okay.
We have two guys who are really good.
Chris, be in the live stream. Next time I go live, I'll be live tomorrow. Be in the live stream and remind us to go over that.
Isolation players, but when those guys aren't out there, you have to find other ways to generate baskets. And I think that's what he means by that. But as a team, and I mean, obviously, as this organization, people have seen, and we talked about the record earlier this year with 20 assists for 200 games in a row or whatever it is. You enjoy the play that way, and even when your best players are out there, you want that to continue to happen. Obviously, there will be times where you have to give it to your best player, and that guy has to go get a bucket. But if you can, move the ball as much as possible and try to generate as many open looks as possible, that's a fun brand of basketball to play.
Seeing from Devin, and what would you tell him in terms of how he can get to that next level?
Yeah, I mean, with Dev, obviously,
get to that next level. Okay, can I be transparent? I don't think there is a next level for Devin. I think that there's a better Devin, but I think that better Devin is the year before this one. I think that better Devin is last year. I don't think that there is a. I could be wrong. I just don't think there's a next level for Vassell. This is a down year, but I think we know what he is at this point, and he's a really good, talented scorer, decent defender. That's more than likely going to be a third or fourth option, scoring option. In any given night, that can fluctuate, right? I think consistently he'll be probably the fourth scoring option, but any given night, he could be your first. He could be your second. Just depends. I think we'll probably get maybe like 10 to 15 situations during the year where he does bump up to one or two, just how hot he is during those games. But overall, more than likely, I think that he'll be our fourth scoring option, a really good one. But with that being said, I don't think there is a next level. Obviously, I don't think anyone would think that. I don't think the players would think that. But just watching him, I don't really know what's the next level for Devin. A lot of the stuff with him is kind of mental. Like, he get in his own head, starts to get a little unconfident, doesn't be as aggressive. Like, usually tendencies like that don't just change throughout your career. Like, yes, Derek White did get more confident as time went on, but as far as like how he plays, he always kind of played the same, right? Like, his tendencies were always the same. It's always there. And Devin Vassell's tendencies are sometimes to not attack the rim. I don't think that goes away. Even when he's locked in, a lot of times that's not his tendency, is to attack the rim or, draw fouls or anything like that. So I just think he is what he is, Clan Vassell's next level may be consistency, but I highly doubt it. I mean, I just think his next level was last year. That was a really good level. Like, yeah. A next level Devin is better shot creation. I don't know. I feel like he kind of maxed it out, but I could be wrong. Which is fine. He's really good. This is not like a get rid of Devin Vassell argument, but anyways.
Bringing me in, that definitely takes the ball out of your hands at times. And, I mean, that is what it is. That's the nature of this business. But with that being said, when I got here, I told him, I'm like, bro, you're never going to get the best defender like when I'm on the court, regardless of how I'm playing. So for him, I think it makes it a little bit easier. Obviously, he's not going to have the ball in his hand as much as he did, previous 4 or 5 years. But for him, like, getting a weaker defender and then being able to play off of closeouts, I feel like makes the game easier. And I told him,
it's kind of crazy how, like, honest Fox and Wemby is. I think Fox even more so than Wemby. But Fox even showed this when he was getting ready to leave the Kings, like how frustrated he was with everything. This is why what's kind of cool about this team, it might be a little scary as well, but, if you want to just close your ears, you can do that. But one thing that's pretty great is that De'Aaron Fox and Wemby will have a good vibe just by watching these press conferences of how the team is doing, or at the very least, how they feel about the team. The only like I said in another segment, the only controversial thing that we had this season was Wemby saying that he didn't think that we made in-game adjustments well, which we did not. And that was a criticism, kind of a direct criticism of the coaching staff. Like, it was very obvious, even though he ended up kind of coming back on it saying, well, I need to do better. I personally do better. Yeah, you personally do better, but it's very obvious what you're talking about. Like, you're talking about the coaching staff not doing what they need to do. So we'll have a pretty good idea of where the team is mentally just from their press conferences, because they don't hide it well, right? They're both very smart. Yeah. So in is chill. Wesley needs gone. Wait, what? What? Oh, you want to get rid of Wesley? Where'd that come from? No.
That and the game where he had 38.
Yeah, Devin also didn't have a real offseason last offseason because of the foot injury. Yeah, and that he had to adjust to that. I just think the best version of Devin is just last year, right? That might end up being his peak, but obviously he's not in his prime yet, so that can change. Improving his confidence will always be a good thing. It'll always be a good thing, but his tendencies, that's not going to change. I think he's going to always lean towards being an outside shooter.
I think it was. That's what he did. Like, nothing was complicated. Obviously, there were times that he did take tough shots, but that's because he was hot. Everything else was him playing off closeouts, him catch and shoot, catching it. They close out hard. He's getting to the basket. Like, it makes the game a lot easier. And like I said, when everybody's healthy, we're able to get this group together. That's why I think we can be extremely good, because we've had guys like,
he signed an extension. I don't know if I'll do it yet response was. He's doing it.
Keldon, who's averaged 20 plus in a season. You're getting guarded by one of the two best defenders on the team. And when we're all out there, they won't be able to do that. And then just being able to get those games under our belt, and then being able to get a summer of working out with each other, I think the sky's the limit for this group.
Since joining this group, De'Aaron, have you, and especially this last month of kind of observing, anything stick out to you in terms of how the guys are different than maybe before when you joined this team?
I mean, just being able to sit and watch, like, you kind of see what we struggle with, what we were good with. And I think some of the things that we struggle with, I think, are the things that I've excelled at. I don't think we touch the paint as much. I think when Blake's gotten the game, he's done a great job at it.
Dude, that's what I said. My main argument for, because someone asked in a live stream, like, would I rather have Malachi or Blake? And I chose Blake. And it's not because I think Blake Wesley's upside is just so much greater than Malachi's, because I do think that Malachi does have a bigger upside, only because of how good he is with the ball in his hands on the pick and roll, and how skilled of a shooter he is and whatnot, and teams will kind of always use that. But as far as this team is considered, I think that the Spurs are going to be a faster paced team going forward. And I think that he fits that mold perfectly coming off the bench. Even if it's for like 10, 12 minutes, I think that you don't lose too much if he's coming in, going against another second unit. He's going to keep the energy. He's going to play good defense. He's fast. And he can keep that tempo up. And he gets to the rim. So I love the fact that De'Aaron Fox actually noticed it, or at least brought it up. That's what I thought.
And I think some of the things that we struggle with, I think, are the things that I've excelled at.
You want CP3 back? Yes. Kind of. I don't think it's a necessity, but I don't think it hurts either, if that makes sense. The only thing that worries me is if they like force him starting. If he has to start, I don't want him back, to be honest. Fox starting with CP3 was horrible. It was just dumb to me. Their two play styles are just way too different. It was just ugly. Like, let De'Aaron Fox run point guard, and I don't want to see CP3 as shooting guard. So yeah, if he can be in the second unit, we're good. Of course, I want him back. But if he has to start, if they make that promise again, nah, I'm good, bro.
I don't think we touch the paint as much. I think when Blake's got in the game, he's done a great job at it. But, you know, people have to evolve and learning the game. And I think that's the beauty of where we are.
Will Blake's ceiling be Fox? Blake Wesley will not be as good of a player as Fox. I don't think his ceiling is Fox. That's a pretty high ceiling.
As a team, I think we have a lot of guys who are extremely talented, but we have a lot of guys who are still, you know, learning NBA basketball. So that's a great thing it's always great to work with people who are talented, who are also willing to learn. And I think that's what this
bringing back Barnes is a good idea.
Group has.
You mentioned an offseason together. You're looking forward to an offseason with an actual offseason with Victor?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming to a team in the middle of the season, obviously you kind of know what guys do, but you haven't been.
Yeah, he has another. It was just question whether or not the Spurs would trade Barnes, but I don't think they would, because he's always wanted to play for the Spurs, and Spurs always wanted him. Like, the Spurs have wanted Barnes for years now. Like, it just never was able to happen, but they've been trying to get him for years. I doubt that they just like let this opportunity slip, especially after that huge game winner. That was pretty nice.
And like in it or around the guys just yet. And just being able to be around them for the last few months, getting to know guys and really understanding guys' personalities, what they.
Yeah, he is. Barnes is one of the most perfect fits imaginable. He really is, because if you need, well, I won't say this like with my whole chest, okay, but a lot of times if you need him to take over or you need him to attack mismatch, he could do it. He could do it with ease. But he can also just kind of fit into an offense, right? He can be there, but he's never not present. You know, I never saw him just completely disappear. Like, there's been games where he hasn't played as well as maybe you'd hope, but he's never just fully disappeared. He is 100% in it all the time. Like, there's not many mental lapses. There's very few. Actually, chat, are there any players on our team that you feel like have like major mental lapses? Like, I know Keldon does, but that's always been a tendency. Maybe Vassell, but I don't even think Vassell has that many mental lapses. Yeah, so dude, Caps, dude, I'm not biting, bro. You're gonna say that every time. Charles Bassey. Okay, Charles Bassey. I can see that. Keldon Wesley. Okay. I would say Malachi, but I feel like that's old news. That would have been like, I haven't seen it. Julian. Yeah, Julian. Okay, so those would probably be the ones. Keldon, Julian, Bassey. Okay. Maybe Wesley. I haven't seen Wesley have a lot of. No, he does. He makes some mistakes. Julian is probably the biggest one of the group, though, that has mental lapses, which is fine with his salary, right? like he outplays his salary often, so it's okay.
Like to do, and then seeing them on the court every single day is a lot different than just watching guys on film.
Specifically with Victor, in terms of being able to work with him and.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we want to be, the best pick and roll combo in the league. Like I said, we have two guys who are extremely dynamic, can pick and choose our spots whenever we want, and if you're able to really put together that type of combination, I feel like it's going to be a hard thing to stop. So having this summer to be able to work together is definitely good.
You're going to be a big recruiter in terms of free agency. Do you think that's needed on this team now?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, whenever you have a core group of guys that you want to build around.
Would you say Harrison Barnes is how Rudy Gay was for us? No, I think Harrison Barnes is better for us than Rudy. Like, Rudy Gay did his thing, and I think that he actually shined more when Kawhi walked away, right? Because we really relied on him, especially in the playoffs. Like, we needed him to score. But sometimes Rudy Gay's play style is just kind of disruptive to what the Spurs would like to do, right? He took so many. It's his bread and butter is how he came up. But he took so many mid-range shots to the point where it was just like, I don't know, you kind of disrupting the offense a little bit. Like, he'll kind of ISO, like, oh, I'm just going to take over. Harrison just fits whatever you got going, right? If you need him, he's there. If he could just be in the offense and be a presence and be in that corner, he can knock him down. Like, I don't know. I just think that he fits a little bit better as a veteran than Rudy did. Even though this might be controversial to say, I think at the time that we had Rudy was overall a better player. But, you know, Harrison Barnes, I just think he fits better. Harrison is way better than Rudy for our culture. That too. Rudy was one of those guys where he's a good guy and everything, you know, but he wasn't like the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain guys you bring to San Antonio and they'll fit their role. They'll be a professional about it. They'll try their best, but they're not the Spurs, you know? Like, I don't think DeMar DeRozan, even though he was great, he wasn't the Spurs, right? I don't think LA, even though he was great, I don't think he was the Spurs. Richard Jefferson, he was great. He adjusted. He wasn't the Spurs. You know, there's like a few guys where it's like they come to San Antonio and it's like, you should have been here from the beginning, from the get. I think Harrison Barnes is that. Yeah, he's Spurs, bro. Patty Mills. That's another example.
I'm not saying the rest is easy, but it makes your job a little bit easier. Now, I'm not saying B. Wright's job is easy, but it definitely gives you a stepping stone to help with that. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, we want to build something special here. Obviously.
All right, everybody that has earrings, what style do you like? I usually just get moissanite. I don't even worry about getting diamonds. I just get moissanite. I like moissanite. Sometimes dangling earrings are cool. I haven't worn a dangling earring in a long time, though. What's your vibes? What kind of earrings you like? I don't know. I've been staring at them. I think they look nice. I think they're diamond, though.
This organization has won in the past, and they're expected. You know, that's an expect.
Marco Bellinelli was really good. Obviously, he was really good. I mean, he tattooed the Spurs on his body, man. Oh, yeah, George Hill. George Hill was the Spurs, yeah.
To have, and, you know, we want to be able to live up and exceed those expectations.
Pau Gasol was a guy that wasn't the Spurs, right? But he tried his best. He tried to do what we asked of him, but he wasn't really Spurs. David West is probably an example of that as well, you know. I mean, it's Corey Joseph. Corey Joseph, well, I don't know. Corey Joseph, it's like so much praise for Corey Joseph, man. And then I'll compare him to another player on our team, like currently, and they're like, no, I like Corey Joseph more. There were actually people arguing with me earlier this season saying I would rather have Corey Joseph than Devin Vassell. What are we even going on about? What? Boris Diaw? Boris Diaw was the Spurs. I can't imagine him. To be the Spurs, I can't imagine you with another team, right? I just can't fathom it. Harrison Barnes, after these couple seasons, we're going to forget that he was on the Warriors. Like, we'll forget. We're like, what? He was on the Warriors? Kawhi. Kawhi's a tricky one. I thought he was the Spurs. He's a Spurs. He's the Spurs. It's I just want to think that Uncle Dennis pulled the strings there. Clan, I miss Primo. Chill. Oh, just kidding. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Chill. I thought Primo was the Spurs. White is Spurs. Derek White is a Spur. Yeah.
Can you talk about just the job that he's done?
Castle,
yep.
yep.
Able to kind of keep everyone calm despite
Trey
everything
Jones,
that's going
yep.
on.
Yeah, man, it's an extremely tough thing to do. One, I've been through coach firings before. Now, this is definitely something that's very different, but because of the way that that happened with Pop, but you don't want stuff to just fall off of a cliff once things like that happen. And I think he's done a great job. Of
Wesley not a Spur. What makes you say that? No reason not to think that. I think he definitely is.
Keeping that up, keeping the spirits high, keeping the team together, keeping the locker room together. And I think everybody back there respects Mitch. And he's been I think he's been awesome ever since I've been here. The first day that I got here, we had a short meeting, just us two together. And I've had a blast playing for him, and I think he's done an excellent job. I mean, obviously, especially with a young team like this, it's hard.
We don't know who's who. Honestly, Wemby can leave us. Don't take it for granted. Well, the difference between Wemby and Kawhi was so quiet about everything. Like, he was so quiet about everything, where it was when we got the news, or I remember when I first heard the news, I was in disbelief, not because Kawhi would do this, but he wouldn't do this, but I was more in disbelief because we just don't experience that, like stars just leaving. But we didn't know enough about Kawhi, and obviously even his teammates didn't know enough about him, right? Like, they even said, like, yeah, I don't really know much about Kawhi. Like, he just comes in, do his job, go home. Like, there was that rumor that after he won the championship, he had the trophy and he just left in an empty apartment or something. It was like, who are you? You know? At least with Wemby, not saying we know him personally, right? Like, personally, he might be a jerk. He might be the worst person in the world. But as far as the vibes that we get, he's very open. He's very honest. He's very truthful. When things have bothered him, he said it. He said it in a professional manner, but he says it. So I don't think if things go downhill with Wemby, which it won't, I don't believe it will. But if anything were to go downhill, I think that we'll at least have like 2-3 years of preparation for it, right? Like, we'll see the signs. Kawhi was just like, what the heck? But you're right. I mean, anything can happen, but I don't really get the vibe that we're going to be struggling that much. The amount of effort that the Spurs have been making and the moves that they've been making for Wemby specifically have been phenomenal. Even to the point where you're about to get a new stadium soon, during Wemby's prime, or I think he'll be going into his prime, right? Like, when is the stadium being built, y'all? Do you know? Where it's like going to be a really nice area and shopping centers and all of that. When is that going down? 2030, 2032? Yeah, he'll be entering his prime, right? Like, near his prime. He's like 20 now. So yeah, he might not be in his prime yet, but yeah, it's like perfect timing, right? Like he's aware of everything that the Spurs are doing. And he wants to be with a team. That's the one thing that's really important too. He wants to stay with one team, right? Guys like him, guys like Fox don't actually want to leave. It took a lot for Fox to finally say, okay, guys, all right, you fired my coach. That's the last straw. I got to get out of here, right? And he was with the Kings. But, Wemby's the same type of guy. Unfortunately, with Kawhi, we just had no idea. It's just, we didn't know anything about him.
To keep that together, one, through a full season, and two, when a coach goes down, like that's an extremely hard thing to do.
Aaron, are there any bits of wisdom or stories that you'll remember about Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, and their vet leadership?
Yeah, I mean, with CP, man, I think everybody knows how smart he is, but like once you're around it, you see it every single day. You view it a little bit differently. Like, you're not viewing it from a fan's aspect anymore. You're viewing it from a teammate, from a guy that is around him. Like, it's been a great thing and a beautiful thing to watch. And obviously with his age, and he's not the biggest guy in the world, but the fact that he's been able to play for so long and really affect the game is just a testament to everything that he's done over the years.
That is incredible that he is so short, but yet he's still impactful and very difficult. You have to be extraordinarily smart to survive that long.
In the way that he works. I've been with HB for a long time, so I don't have nothing to say about HB.
Nice work.
I appreciate it.
All right, what does his necklace say?
HB.
All right, what does his necklace say?
Nice work.
I can't tell.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I can't tell. It says something. All right. That was good, man. That was a really good press conference. You love to see it. Good stuff. Nothing negative to say. I liked it. I enjoyed that.